caught, poorly played.
Yep. Got him.
Hey, what's the limit for the host? 3?
Pretty, huh?
The new American Sportsman is presented by Yamaha.
New Zealand's lush landscapes, amazing wildlife, and pleasant climate make it a haven for many outdoor activities and a great place for today's adventurer to unwind. New Zealand's society is diverse, sophisticated, and multicultural, but the great advantage of New Zealand is that all of its varied physical, cultural, and artistic landscapes are so close to each other. On the South Island, uncrowded, crystal-clear rivers offer excellent wild trout fishing. Actor Michael Keaton has journeyed halfway around the globe for the trophy-sized browns and rainbows that are legendary. Today, he and his brother George begin their road trip across this epic countryside.
Do I want to come and catch fish? I want to catch lots of fish. I want to catch big fish. I like it, but it's not a big deal to me. That's part of the trip. That's why I think he and I like kicking around, you know. There's nothing better than going out and just getting in a truck, banging up the countryside and kicking around.
No, another good thing about New Zealand,
What?
no snakes.
I miss snakes.
Mike was saying how they introduced all this wildlife into Hawaii. Someone should bring in a rattler or a king cobra or something. Liven this place up. What's this? Okay, what's the next stop? What a schmo. Mike's job being so out in the public is different than any of the other family members, so he's obviously more well known, and certainly we're proud of him. Sometimes I get a little caught up with that because in spite of his popularity and the world actually knows him, he hasn't forgotten for one minute the relationships with his brothers. Of course, I love that in him.
Along another stretch of the South Island, new American Sportsman host Tom Ackerman is also making his way to Lake Rotorua Lodge. He's traveled all the way from Maine's mid-coast, where he lives his days as a father, a sportsman, and a fishing guide.
The mid-coast of Maine is my backyard. This is where I live. This is where I've raised my family. This is where I've worked. And maybe, most importantly, this is where I play. My real passion in life is helping people enjoy the outdoors. And I think the quality of my life is better for it. And my message to folks is, hey, I think you'd find the same thing and I can help you. There's just something really rewarding for me to be part of that and to kind of pass on that baton from one generation to the next. I think that's really important.
A few more miles down the road, and a roadside coffee shop catches the eye of Michael and his brother. A chance to kick around a bit with the locals.
Can we stop him from shooting? Because he's gonna win something from it if he makes this. Oh my gosh!
He did too.
Coffee,
What do you guys want?
coffee, pop,
He's buying.
beer. You want a beer?
Buy him another coffee. You want
She
pop?
wants a beer. I know that. I can tell.
What are you
by
laughing
that.
about?
She's probably drunk. Are you drunk?
Goof off and have fun, run these two cute little kids, and you know, they were very polite, giggled a lot. You can have a conversation, you know, you get, that's local flavor, you know. I'm so fortunate that I have that life.
Wait a minute. That's $400.
I just paid $400 for 2 cups of coffee.
It's good coffee.
Thank you very much.
That's fantastic, you know, these little side trips, and where a place like this, you know, you can still go find some things that, you know, you don't find in America anymore.
Are you best friends? You are? Did you make that decision at some point? Did you say, look, let's face it, we're best friends? It's just like that. Or did you just, it's one of those things you just know?
I'll bet it just happened.
Yeah.
They respect what you do, but they don't seem to, they don't care in a good way, you know. They you know, they're respectful of what you do, but it's not like a big deal. So you can sit and have a conversation with a guy. It's not, he's not talking to you because you're a star, you know.
Apparently, the movie star status hasn't stopped this sportsman from cherishing life's simpler moments. An award-winning actor, Michael's inventive performances in roles varying from gung-ho to Beetlejuice have set him apart as a comedic actor. But many remember his dramatic role in Batman, which proved the actor's wide-range appeal and versatility. His most recent venture puts him on the set of the next chapter in a Disney classic.
There is a legend with mysterious powers and a magical past.
After taking a few years of rest, Michael Keaton is back at it. With a renewed spirit, he's working harder than ever at his passion for acting.
You can do this thing, Maggie. You just buckle down and you grit your teeth, because you're the next great Peyton. It's time everybody out there knew it. It's really good. It's really a nice, positive image, and done in a really nicely written way. It's really well written little script. It's very charming. I guess that means he's not totally fine.
Herbie, Fully Loaded.
Next on the new American Sportsman.
Too much work. That's unbelievable. That's your limit. You reached your limit here, by the way, for the host. Also easier to drink. You can drink tons of it.
The new American Sportsman is brought to you by Yamaha, now celebrating 50 years as the world's motorsports leader.
As dawn breaks on New Zealand's Lake Rotorua Lodge, the new American Sportsman continues with a family fly fishing trip. NAS host Tom Ackerman joins actor Michael Keaton and his brother George on one of the South Island's renowned wild trout streams.
I think one of the things that really impressed me about Michael is that when I first met him and I saw he was kind of dressed for battle and ready to fish, and you kind of size a guy up when you first meet him and say, you know what, I have a feeling this is not this guy's first time on the river. I could tell by his clothes were well worn. I could see he had his gadgets laid out in a way that made sense. And, you know, I could tell that he was at least looked the part. The moment of truth is when a guy, strips some line off his reel and he makes that first couple of back casts and he presents the fly to the water. When I saw him cast, I said, you know what, this guy has been at this for a while. He's a pretty accomplished angler. Yeah.
This is it for me. Always was. When I was a kid, we were basically country kids, but we were surrounded by very urban and industrial areas. But we were kids who could run out and play in the woods all day, and that's all this is. It's just a more grandiose version of playing in the woods.
Nice male fish, huh? What do you think? 4.5?
4.5 pounds.
He ran all the way up through those rocks. I was like he was spawning. It's unbelievable.
He just kept going. He didn't like the look of it.
We don't want to tire. We want to let this guy go pretty soon, don't we? He looks a little
As long as he has a
fatigued.
drink of water every so
Is he all right?
He drinks.
That's a nice, good call behind that rock.
2 miles into their upstream journey, host Tom Ackerman is finding it increasingly hard to keep up with the inside antics played out between Keaton and his brother.
Oh, Rod Boy. So when you said, oh, Rod Boy,
Rod Boy, come here.
we enjoy each other's humor because it's pretty similar, it's pretty comparable. So what one says that they think is funny, the other chimes right in and enjoys it as well. And sometimes, quite honestly, that can lead to a feeling that you're excluding some others.
After a much-needed shore lunch, Tom Ackerman leaves the quick-witted brothers behind to take advantage of the next pool.
There you go.
Nice job, Tom.
What do you take, nymph?
Yeah, he ate the little nymph, the little caddis.
Nice job.
Oh, that was sweet.
Yep.
And I actually could see the fish eat the nymph. I wasn't watching the indicator. I watched the fish just turn, like ease up and just lazily take that nymph just under the surface. I just lifted the rod tip and he was on. And it was incredible.
What's the limit for the host? 3?
Well done, my friend.
Wow, man,
Thank you, my friend. Thank you.
Wow, that's a nice fish.
I'm quitting. Oh my.
Nice job, tough.
Hey, thanks, man. Thanks, George. Oh, isn't he beautiful?
Good job.
Hey,
Great
Michael.
job.
Yeah, man.
Aren't they gorgeous?
Fantastic.
Isn't that cool?
I've seen it. Look, that's classic. Just
Yeah.
setting that kind of brown trout here.
Oh, he's magnificent, isn't he? Oh my.
Great
Thank
fish.
you so much.
Great.
Let's get him back in there.
You took the nymph?
To round out a great day on the water, Keaton and his brother George take a side trip to New Zealand's famed wine country region of Marlborough and visit the beautiful Brancott Winery.
You have any other questions?
Your Boone's Farm wines.
Boone's Farm wines are like a Moga David.
Recommend Mad Dog.
Like a Mad Dog, yeah.
Mad Dog 2020.
You've had that?
Oh yeah.
What year?
I had well, this year's 2005. I had a 2006.
There's a lot to learn about the art of winemaking, but Keaton seems to have his own ideas about guaranteeing success.
Here's a tip. If you're not happy with your wine, it's a little too strong, or quite frankly, if you want to sell more of it, take a little water. Just take the cork out, pour a little water in there. Yeah, because you figure you cut it. You get 4 bottles instead of 2. They're not going to know. People aren't going to know. Also easier to drink. You can drink tons of it.
Next on the new American Sportsman, Michael Keaton rounds out his wine tour with a bang before hitting the river for one of his best fishing days yet.
Got a good attitude?
The first time I heard the term polarized lenses was from my grandfather, Toots, in the 70s. He told me that I had to wear a pair if we were going to go fishing so I could see through the glare on the water and catch more fish. Well, fortunately, things have gotten a lot better in the world of sunglasses. These are a pair of Action Optics made by Smith. They come in different lens colors. This is a gray color, and it's great for open water. These are some of my faves, though, because of the copper lenses. It gives you that Prozac effect. These glasses come in glass lens, which is a little more expensive, a little heavier. You don't want to run into a wall and break these. They also come in polycarbonate, which is a little bit cheaper. These used to be for hardcore fishermen, but now they're for anybody who just wants to see a little more clearly.
Sportsman continues from Lake Rotorua Lodge in New Zealand, where a rain delay has postponed actor Michael Keaton's South Island fly fishing adventure.
I'm looking at it now, it's just, we're a bit rained out today, which is New Zealand fishing sometimes. We've had great weather up until now. And you kind of like these days. I mean, I like these rainy days, looking at that mist out over that lake out there.
With dreary skies and rising rivers, what better way to wait out the weather in New Zealand than at a local pub?
Literally getting a piggyback ride. It's hysterical. Like they're going, hey, can you give me a ride down the mountain? They're kind of tired. Just give me a lift on down to town. Hey, I'll give you a couple bucks to give me a ride down the mountain. And then they stop. Hey, hold off, stop. I think I know this pig. Hold on a minute. Where'd you get this guy? He was walking. I asked him, gave him a couple bucks. He's carrying me down. It's like a service. Pigs pay these guys to come on up and give them a ride to town.
So that's fun. There's a little side trip, you know. I mean, we had basically a day off. We just decided to go kick around and see the country and to have some laughs.
Clearing skies bring the onset of some great weather and the perfect opportunity for a fly out. So the group loads up and heads to a remote stream for a far-flung trout fishing experience.
That flight out was just breathtaking. I mean, I'd heard New Zealand was beautiful. I knew it had nice mountains and nice rivers and whatnot, but when you see it from that perspective for the first time, it really is just really incredibly beautiful.
Feeling real good about things. How about you, Scott?
Yeah, it's like a good day for fishing.
An hour's flight places the group at the base of a 3-mile stretch on one of the South Island's most pristine trout streams.
I looked around on the beach we were standing on and I noticed there were no footsteps. There were no footprints, no boot prints there, and I kind of had the feeling like we were the first people to ever fish this water, and that's really a rare experience to have that.
A coin toss puts Michael Keaton's brother George first at bat. The action's hot, but can he close the deal?
Oh, hey, that'll be our little secret, George.
Catch and release.
Our little secret.
You caught me on that. You caught me.
One of the things about fishing New Zealand that I really like is there's a social component to you that you don't usually get when you trout fish.
Tom, the problem isn't that you had 11 items. The problem is that you had 11 cans of baked beans. That's the problem. What the f were you doing with 11 cans of baked beans?
There was a lot of good-natured ribbing going on. We each got our turn at a different pool, and I just felt it was a great way to spend the day. Now, don't be afraid to yell some kind of words of encouragement to them.
No.
Tips and pointers?
No. Otherwise, he'll be one up on me.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. Well done.
Oh, very nice.
Michael, you really love this, don't you?
I love it.
I mean, look, your tail's wagging. You were having so much fun.
Am I salivating?
Yeah, that was so cool.
Oh, I guess I'm going down.
Yep.
You've got to be a good angler to catch fish down here. You've got to be an excellent angler to catch a lot of fish. But it's different. You adjust to the challenge, and that's what I like about it. It's just, how do you adjust to the challenge, you know? And you know, this is no home field here. You know, this is an away game.
Oh.
Hey, Michael. Hey, that's right. Thank you. Better to have loved and lost.
Oh, see, that counts. Mine doesn't.
No.
Sure.
Right.
Absolutely.
And I like having to adjust every day or every hour if you have to.
All right. Poorly played. Well caught, poorly played.
It was just so much fun. And it's why I do this, because, you know, did he get fully in the net? No. But do I care? I could not care less.
A little further upriver, Keaton gets another chance to redeem himself.
He's coming over. He's coming.
Yep. Oh, baby! It's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a nice fish.
Kind of boy, like your attitude, fighting spirit, and all that. Got a good attitude?
Yeah, you got good water to play them in here.
I think the reason I love to fish with a fly is it is, at the heart of it, hunting.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Oh, what a fish. Oh, awesome, mate.
And I contend that deep inside men is the hunting instinct.
Pretty, huh? Got a little undercut you on there?
Wow.
There you go, boy.
There he goes.
He's taking my watch. Jeez.
Next on the new American Sportsman.
He's holding on for dear friggin' life.
Got a good attitude?
The new American Sportsman is brought to you by Yamaha, now celebrating 50 years as the world's motorsports leader.
The new American Sportsman continues with another beautiful morning in New Zealand. Michael Keaton and his brother George prep their gear for their final day together. Armed only with a personal camera, they leave the film crew behind for another flyout and George's chance to capture one of their greatest adventures together.
Okay, now go ahead, catch one.
I hope this fish solidly, big fish, way up in this valley I'm talking about. And he, you know, I'm playing this fish, get him on the reel, and he starts to go, and then I'm hoping he can stay up because, you know, another, you know, just down a ways, he goes into heavy water, and then he gets into a gorge, and he's gone. You know, you want this fish in a net if you can. So he's staying up with me, and then all of a sudden he decides to run, and I gotta run downstream.
This is great. I got this whole show.
And I go, okay, this is fun. Starting to get a little grin on my face. Still pretty intense on land. And now the fish starts to run to heavier water. Now it's even more fun.
He's holding on for dear friggin' life. Now he's got this big rock to negotiate right here. How is he gonna do it? He's gonna go out and try to go around it.
That was about 6 Volkswagens high. Runs down into a big pool, you know, turbulent water.
If he catches this fish, this will be a miracle.
Now I'm going, and they're yelling at me and talking to me, and George is shooting, and I'm thinking, okay, is it even possible to get over this thing and get down on the other side and keep this fish? I say, probably not, but I don't really have a choice.
You got a chance. You only need about 6 more inches, and you can get over top.
I realized as I was playing this fish, I had the biggest smile on my face. I thought, I found it. I know how to do it.
He got it over the rocks. Yeah, he's on the other end. You get him down into here, you got a hope or a prayer.
This fish is still on. So I run up, and the guide's yelling, don't go in that hole, don't go in that hole.
Don't go any further.
So, dude, Mike, it drops straight off.
It drops right out.
All of a sudden, tips going like this. I go, fish is still on. Fish is still on, so now I'm playing this thing. It could end here, and I'd be more than happy. Holding him up, kind of going sideways, trying to kind of ease him over to the bank, and the guide is yelling at me. I'm yelling back at him because I disagree with what he's telling me. And I'm on the reel. Fish swings off and just snaps it off, and he's gone. I thought that the guide was just gonna, we were gonna send him, you know, into some sort of psychiatric ward. He was so despondent. I thought it was the greatest. And, you know, he's moping for a while. He's a nice guy, but I noticed in about 15 minutes, he was kind of moping around, and man, I have no patience for that. Whining and moping, you just gotta get smacked. So I just looked at him and I said, dude, if you thought I would be happier with a picture, standing on New Zealand River with a big trout, happier than doing what I just did, you're dreaming. I said, that's way better. That's way better. It's one of the best fish I've ever caught.
This week's Tough Moment of the Day is brought to you by Yamaha.
He's holding on for dear friggin' life. If he catches this fish, this will be a miracle.
Ain't nothing tougher than a Yamaha.
Back at the lodge, the gang stores their gear for one last time, and they end the day with a toast to fishing, family, and friends.
Michael was a focused angler, but when he wasn't fishing, he could kind of kick back and enjoy. There was a neat dynamic between the two brothers. It was obvious that these guys had fished together and had spent a lot of time together.
The poison fruit.
These guys aren't afraid to mix it up a little bit and throw in some jabs with each other. They were just two really funny guys and a lot of fun to be with.
You're wearing girl socks today. You're wearing those girl socks. What? I'm not judging it. I'm not judging. I'm just saying you got women's clothing on.
As the two brothers ride off into the sunset, another chapter draws to a close in their scrapbook of family fellowship and their common pursuit for new adventure.
But we were all like that. It was not uncommon to be all cut up and bruised up. And that's one reason I look at guys who shave their head and they look great. I can never shave my head. My head is the ugliest thing in the world. I got lumps on it.
This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Become a better outdoorsman. Log on to ESPNOutdoors.com.